What's good? It's Woog. I just wanted to say rest in peace to Dave Jolicoeur, aka Dave, aka Trugoy the Dove, aka Plug 2 of De La Soul. He just passed away at the age of 54. And I know that he had been battling congestive heart failure for the past few years. And he was pretty open about it. I think there was a video clip from that last album that De La Soul released in like 2017, 2016, and The Anonymous Nobody, where Trugoy was detailing his health struggles. And it was just really sad to read that news and knowing that this was also the moment where De La Soul is about to, finally, after years and years of turmoil. And it's been frustrating to witness the turmoil that they had been going through with their former label Tommy Boy over their catalog. I mean, it hurt to watch a group that is so revered, so respected, and so integral in the evolution of hip hop. Like, you talk with anybody who was around during the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s, into the mid 90s, and they'll tell you how impactful De La Soul was to hip hop culture overall. Like, they were kind of seen as being like against the grain. Like, hip hop is going this way, De La Soul goes this way, and they are kind of the ushers or pioneers of alternative rap styles in terms of their concepts, their themes, them not always taking themselves so seriously on the tracks and having a sense of humor in their lyrics, in their presentation. I mean, they called it the Daisy era because there were a lot of flowers imagery wise in a lot of their artwork, their album art. Look at their debut, 3 Feet High and Rising. Look at their De La Soul Is Dead album. So they had like the Daisy imagery going on, and they were kind of seen to be, the hippies of hip hop, even though, Plug One, Postanu, said in a lyric that I never smoked no weed in my life. He at least said that on the track. I don't know if that is in fact true, but they were, seen to be like, a lot of rap is presentation and trying to tell the public that you're somebody you're not, or basically, fronting to look hard or trying to personify, portray this or that. I would say that De La Soul kind of led the charge in a less pretentious type of rap. Not to say that none of the hardcore stuff, not to say that that's not real. I mean, a lot of it is very real in terms of the brothers that come up and end up making it, creating that type of hip hop. But De La Soul, they were so alternative and so important to the history of hip hop. And their music, their catalog was finally going to hit Spotify after not being on the platform, after De La Soul not having control over their catalog. And I mean, it's such an important body of work too. So for the several people who are, subscribe to Spotify or that are on Spotify to not even have access to De La Soul music, that is almost like saying you don't have like the Roots catalog or you don't have, Public Enemy's catalog. It's just unfathomable. So in March, their music is finally going to hit streaming platforms, and Dave, aka Trugoy, is not going to be here to see that. And to feel that appreciation and to feel that love. I mean, he's undoubtedly felt a lot of love over the years. Like, I'm sure he knows what he means and what his group means to the culture. And, in context, all of the music stuff is secondary to like family and his like closest circle. I mean, my condolences go to the family first. I mean, the fans or any of his associates in music, his friends, that's all secondary to family. So, his family, I'll start there with condolences, and then his friends, and then so forth. So, I mean, I'm talking periphery here. I'm only talking music. But when we talk about the music, it's just sad that he wasn't here to see this, because I think there's going to be a rejuvenated and reinvigorated appreciation for De La Soul. And I felt that even before Trugoy passed away. Now Trugoy's passing is only going to further the rejuvenated dive into the De La Soul catalog, unfortunately. I mean, that's just kind of how things go. It's just really, really sad that Dave won't be here to feel that type of appreciation. And, he had dropped a couple of videos not too long ago, thanking people for sending out their well wishes because, like I said, he's been in bad health for some time. but he said that he just really wants to get back out there. He wanted to get back onto the stage. He wanted to record more music. It's just sad when somebody leaves so relatively young. 54 years old isn't an old age, you know what I mean? But yeah, rest in peace to Dave. And you know, one of the things, aside from De La Soul's phenomenal catalog, which includes 3 Feet High and Rising, De La Soul is Dead, Balloon Mind State, Stakes is High, that one. I mean, that was when I was coming of age, when I was in junior high, high school, Stakes is High is out. So I had to do the homework after seeing their Stakes is High stuff and then going back and then listening to their, you know, the classics, if you will. But a lot of more modern fans, younger fans, might know him and his crew mostly from being featured on Feel Good Inc. That's probably Gorilla's biggest song, and that was on their second album, Demon Days. So yeah, you might know De La Soul from that high profile feature, but yeah, get into their catalog. As soon as their music hits Spotify, do yourself a favor and get familiar with De La Soul's music. Once again, I just wanted to say rest in peace. I mean, it's crazy. I just did a video on De La Soul like a few weeks ago out of excitement after hearing the news that their catalog was going to finally hit streaming and that De La Soul had finally resolved their legal issue with Tommy Boy Records. And here we are a few weeks later, and Trugoy is no longer with us. By the way, I also really loved his verse on Camp Lowe's Uptown Saturday Night album. He was either on track 3 or track 4. It was the one, watch that thing cause it's coming around. Now lamp on these here grounds cause we got to make money, money, Hollywood, money, money, sunshine, and everything's fine. Like, yeah, he's got the middle verse in that song and it's a super smooth verse. He always came smooth. He's the one who had the iconic line, mirror, mirror on the wall, from Me, Myself, and I. I remember being a little kid seeing that music video on TV and thinking, who are these dudes? Because he had, you know, the kind of Gumby cut and stuff. They were very eccentric at a time where that type of eccentricity wasn't the thing. So again, they just went against the grain. But yeah, it's just really sad that Trugoy has passed away. And yeah, and I did like to see the outpour from the hip hop community. I've seen a lot of rappers from around his time and from after his time and from his before his time, just kind of telling stories that either involved them. Like I saw Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, you know, have some pretty heartfelt commentary on Trugoy. I saw Onyx release a statement talking about how back in 1991 they used to party with De La Soul, and you know, before Onyx had the bald heads, they had the long Gumbies and dreads because of De La Soul and the influence that they had on them. So it's always good to see the outpour of support and outpour of thoughts. It just doesn't take away from the sadness that is the passing of Trugoy in this case. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and overall experiences, you know, in listening to De La Soul. If you have any favorite verses from Trugoy, let me know what those are. If you have any favorite De La Soul songs, because, you know, their catalog extends. After Stakes is High, they had those 2, you know, Artificial Intelligence albums that featured like the song Ooh, 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 Ooh with Redman. And so that was like a hit. That was one of their more commercially successful singles. So yeah, they made good music for some time. And even after that, in the 2000s, they had The Grind Date, which was a very good album. And even The Anonymous Nobody a few years ago, that was a good album. So yeah, they dropped their debut in like 1989 and just, you know, continued through the 90s into the 2000s and, you know, always kept the quality high. Like, you'll be hard pressed to find a bad De La Soul album. I don't know if there is one, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. Rest in peace, Trugoy. You will certainly be missed. And I really do hope that the public at large gives another long, close look at the De La Soul catalog as soon as those songs and those albums hit Spotify. Their catalog is certainly worthy of it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. And once again, rest in peace to Trugoy.